this story of Jesus in our own lives. We have experienced the Jesus who reached out to us to adopt us as brothers and sisters. The adoption papers are signed, the job is done. But what happens if we start feeling like we're not really brothers and sisters of Jesus's anymore? What happens if we get to a place where we start to say, well, Jesus is great and all, but... If this happens in your walk, know that this happens to all of us. This is a part of journeying with Christ. It happens to new believers. It happens to seasoned believers. We all get to a place where we hit walls and we think, this wasn't supposed to happen, and Jesus can't handle this. When you get to these places, get excited, because this is a moment of growth. This is a moment that God can use for maturing you into the faithful person that you really want to become. Also, get used to it. In the life of faith, we come to these places of dips and valleys. The goal is to come out on the other side stronger and wiser, instead of getting stuck where we are and losing our relationship temporarily to things like apathy and frustration. The goal in these moments is to accept defeat, but expect victory. This is exactly what Jesus did. In the story in the passage today, Jesus dipped down through the strata of the universe, and this is a story that we play out again and again in our lives of faith. We follow Jesus through these kinds of dips. We can accept this struggle. We can accept this kind of defeat, and we can get stuck here. Or we can offer it back to God for God to use to create victory out of it. We can accept this place of humility in the same way that Jesus accepted a place of humility and allow God to create victory. And through the process of it all, we learn greater humility that allows God to create greater and greater victory through us. We go lower like Jesus went lower so that God can lift us up. This is the way of the kingdom of God. It is a place where execution turns into resurrection, where defeats are turned into the greatest victories. It is the place where God takes our most challenging, our most intimate defeats and creates them into moments of miracles. And God is with you all the way through this, ready to create victory from the defeats that you face and become nearer to you. The question is, do you still want to be near to God? And you can answer yes or no to this question. But if you want to, then when the hardest moments come, prepare for God to be the most glorified. Don't reject God when you are defeated. Expect God in these moments. Expect God to create victory. Prepare for God to make the less you feel into the more that you haven't imagined yet.